favorite customer. I understand.
Come to Mick and Ralph's for all your shopping needs.
What's up?
The king controls the water pump. If you want water, you need to pay like everyone else. If we let everyone run amok, the damn NCR would shut us down. Gotta have some way to regulate usage. Just a few caps for a good long swig. Anything else you want? Sure.
You seen Dixon around? He said he'd be back today. Julie? I love Julie. She's such a nice lady. One time I was working on the water pump and she came over, put her hand on my shoulder and told me I was doing a great job. I just choked up and didn't say nothing. Dropped drinking? I've been drinking for a straight month. Listen, I've tried to stop, but the withdrawal symptoms are so bad, I feel like I'm gonna die. Dixon sells me booze dirt cheap. It does the job, but it tastes like paint thinner, and I feel like I'm gonna die if I stop drinking for a day. I swear that guy's trying to kill me, but what can I do?
Hey. Welcome to the Silver Rush, New Vegas' best source of laser and plasma weapons. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to search you before letting you in. The only weapons allowed on the premises are the ones we're selling. It should only take a moment. There, I've stored all of your weapons.
The bosses are having a meeting. You'll have to wait until it's over.
Mr. Soren, please get to the point. The second half of your payment is late, and I want to know why.
Keep your hands where we can see
Miss Van
them.
Graff, my associates and I have decided that we wish to renegotiate the terms of our deal.
Might I ask for what reason? The shipment was delivered. The guns were tested before leaving this facility.
Regardless, we feel that the quality of the weapons is below expectation and hope to adjust the price accordingly.
Ah, I think I understand what the issue here is. Excuse me for a moment, would you? Do it. Never break faith with the Van Graffs, Mr. Soren. I expect you'll have the rest of our payment ready tomorrow morning. Okay, everyone. Show's over. Back to work. Welcome to the Silver Rush, where only top-of-the-line energy weapons can be found. It just so happens a position opened up recently. We currently need another body to guard the entrance outside. Think you can handle that? Suit yourself. Not a... There are chief competitors in this region and many others. While I respect their business acumen, I'm obligated to try to destroy them however I can. Ran out of caps, eh? Wonderful. I already have a man outside who can show you the ropes. He's been with the family for years, so listen to what he says.
Holy hell, that's a lot of energy weapons. Guess we dropped the ball on that one. Hey, you got a second? The Brotherhood is failing. I've always known that. If we don't change course, we're going to fall apart, or fade away. But until recently, I haven't understood where we went wrong, or how to fix it. I think I need to go home. Great! Thanks, thank you. I'll encourage people to name their non-ugly children after you. Seriously.
Welcome to the Sylv... Aw, crap. Don't tell me you're my new guard. Well, no time for pleasantries. I've got your gear right here, but let's see if you can follow instructions. You'll be covering the other side of the door there. Take your position while I get your stuff out. Good. Look around and get a feel for where customers and risks can enter and exit the area while I get your gear ready. Okay, now let's get you geared up. Standard issue is your run-of-the-mill combat armor, with a nice dark coat of paint for both brand recognition and sheer intimidation value. Next, your weapon. Guards are required to use rifles. Anything heavier and people are too scared to come in the door. What's your preference, laser or plasma? Lasers have a high rate of fire, but not a lot of stopping power. Plasma, on the other hand, is slow as a mule, but with a kick to match. So, what'll it be? Nothing wrong with going plasma. Now that you're equipped, a quick word on the job at hand. In a nutshell, we're here to keep the riffraff away. Drunks, punks, and capless vermin are to be turned away. Potential customers are to be permitted normal entrance. That is, after we pat them down for weapons. An unarmed man is a lot less likely to try to steal something with several armed guards around. Don't start any fights. I don't care if some jet junkie just assaulted your mother. We're here to promote violence elsewhere, not start it here. Lastly, don't abandon your post. We're getting paid to stand next to this door, not talk to someone down the street or head to the casino. That goes double for any thoughts of splitting with that gear. Every now and then, some young punk thinks he can run off with Van Graff property. Trust me, the rifle and armor are nice, but they're not worth your life. Other than that, relax. There's usually some eye candy coming and going from the Wrangler over there at some point, so the view's not too bad.
Why do we always hurt the ones we care about the most?
Settle in. You've got some hours left before your shift ends. Here comes a winner. I'll let you handle this one.
Hi there. Is this where I can pick up a laser gun? Sounds like a stupid policy to me.
Good. Stick to the rules. Another one coming. You're on.
Hi. I was, in the area and thought I'd stop by to look at your weapons. Can I go in? Fine by me.
He's clean. See? Not so hard, is it? Heads up. Looks like we got another customer.
Howdy! I just done broke the bank over at the Wrangler there and thought I might peruse your fine wares. Maybe lighten my purse a little? Now hold on here, I'm not packing any heat. Ain't my word good enough for you? I suppose it's alright, if there's no other choice.
He's clean.
See? Told you so.
Looks like that guy's headed this way. Don't screw it up.
Hey, looking for something to replace my old revolver? That's not really necessary, is it? I already told you I got this here revolver, right? Damn, I knew this wasn't gonna work.
What the hell do you suppose that was about? Help me clean this up. No one's gonna want to shop here with the corpse out front. Crap. This I do not need today. Keep your head straight with me. Things are about to get interesting.
Hey, Simon. How's it hanging? Looks like you've got a little helper today.
What can I say? Business has been good lately. We can afford to help.
Good to hear, buddy. Where's the boss lady in?
You know she is. Why don't you go in and say hi?
Nah, I got some rounds to run. But do pass along that I'm always thinking of her. Actually, I got a better idea. Make the new hire tell her. You'll do that for me, won't you? That's a good dog.
Way to keep your head, rookie. Let's hope for you yet. It's just about closing time. Oh, you're gonna need the rifle and armor back.
Hello.
Simon's been telling me how it went. You kept away the undesirables, patted down the rest for weapons, and kept your cool. That is to say, you performed as instructed. Unfortunately, I found someone else with a little more experience. However, another task has come up that I could use some help with. There's a deal that we've been working on for a while now, and the buyer would like a sample of our weapons. I need you to run a package out to a discreet location that the client has chosen. Sound good? Good. Here's the package. I'll mark the location on your map. The buyer said they'd be in town for quite a while, so there's no rush. That said, try not to dawdle. This client could mean big money for us, which naturally means big money for you.
Hello?
Are you the Van Graff's emissary? Do you have what we requested? We were told there would be no questions. I wasn't informed there was to be an exchange on my part. Such a thing is possible. Now, the package, if you will. Ah, then our business is concluded. We've already concluded our business. I suggest you return to your employers.
If it can be bought, it can be founded.
Make a brief stop at the Atomic Wrangler, where the booze is cheaper, the table's more friendly,
Welcome back. And? Good. Good. Oh, Jean-Baptiste was talking about a matter earlier that he needs help with.
Hey. Ah, just the person I was looking for. My sister is very impressed with you so far, but I'm not. Luckily for you, I'm going to give you a chance to prove me wrong. No. That's not how it works. You don't get to weigh the options. You're either in or you're out. All right then. If we're going to work together, there's only one thing you need to know about me. I like things simple. Recently, Glory negotiated a deal between us and a big-time player. We're talking more caps than you'd probably see in a lifetime. Your part in this is simple. To finalize this deal, I need to tie up a loose end. To do that, there's a girl I need you to find. Her name is Rose of Sharon Cassidy. That's some fancy shit, right? Don't know what her mother was thinking with a name like that. But this girl and I, we need to have a discussion. Find her, bring her here, so I can talk to her. Really, NCR all around her. Well, tell you what, you find a way to bring her here. She'll want to hear what I have to say. Find her, bring her back here so we can talk.
You come around like a bad habit. Jean-Baptiste. Sounds like someone got knocked out of the good book so hard his name broke. Either that, or it's Canadarian or some such shit. The only Van Graffs I know are the ones out west. Well, except for Gloria Van Graff, and I don't know her all that well. Nor do I want to. Don't have any objection speaking with him. Though if he's with the Van Graffs, he should know I'm not looking to buy weapons. You come around like a bat. Not leaving here until my caravan paper's clear. Or my title goes away. If you were looking for someone to caravan with, I'd try the Crimson Caravan up north. You take care now.
trouble. I'd like a large atomic shake and a double Brahmin burger. And easy on the agave sauce this time.
We gave you a password, Veronica. It's for your safety.
I know where you live, Ramos. Open up.
For Pete's sake. Opening up. Welcome back, Veronica.
Listen up. I'm in charge of security around here, and I can't say I'm too happy about having an outsider waltzing around. But since you came in with Veronica, I'm inclined to cut you a little slack. Oh, and the Elder's going to want to talk to you. My office is right here in case you need anything.
Looking sharp, Ramos.
NCR military transmissions say the robots on the strip have been upgraded. Wish we had eyes on intel.
I'm really busy now, sorry. Sorry, but I'm a little busy here, if you'll excuse me.
We have a duty to preserve the past.
I have important work to do, so no time to talk.
Only a few people get to venture outside. Usually to trade for food.
If you're planning to take Veronica with you, be sure to have a good pair of earplugs with you. I'm kidding, Veronica. Put the power fist down.
If we could just combine the best qualities of laser and plasma weaponry...
Don't work too hard there, Ibsen.
Yes, yes.
Hello, outsider.
Hello, Veronica. How goes your mission?
We'll know in a second. I wanted to talk to you.
Veronica, tell me this isn't about...
Yes, goddammit, it is. But you're gonna hear me out this time.
We've been through this.
The things I've seen now, other groups succeeding where we fail, it's not too late for us.
We've outlasted the end of the world. We'll outlast these upstarts.
Waiting in a hole for everyone else to die.
If we must.
This is a dead end for us.
I see no evidence of that. Nor do I see anyone out there with a solution to our problems.
How could you? You're too scared to look. Let's go. We're wasting our time.
When Paladin Ramos informed me that Veronica was approaching with an outsider in tow, at first I didn't know what to think. After giving the matter some thought, however, I've decided that an outsider could be of use to me right now. However, I will not force you to help us. Should you refuse, you will be allowed to leave here, though you'd remain Veronica's responsibility. What do you say, outsider? Are you willing to help us? Then allow me to explain our situation. This bunker is currently locked down, allowing no entry or exit. with you being one of the few exceptions. In exceptional cases, teams are sent out to investigate sites or retrieve materials deemed too important to ignore. 3 such teams have gone missing recently, and the news of their disappearance has not yet been widely spread to avoid undue concern. In order to maintain the peace and adhere to the strictures of the lockdown, I need to send someone else to discover what happened to them. While that is disheartening news, there remains hope that the other 2 patrols may still be found alive. I'm glad I can count on you. Oh, and one other thing. The patrols each had a holotape detailing their missions that you can use to track them. The shielding of the bunker prevents us from actively tracking them, but their positions should show up on your map once you get to the surface. Should our worst fears become realized, please bring back all 3 of the holotapes from the patrols. Otherwise, bring our brothers home. I've given the order that you be given access to some of the equipment our scouts and patrols have scavenged over the years. You won't be allowed to purchase any prohibited equipment, but hopefully some of what's available will prove useful to you.
Does Ramos know you're walking around without a guard?
Try to keep Veronica out of trouble, would you?
I'd slap him around, but he stood at my parents' wedding. Plus, he used to make excuses to get me out of my punishment when I'd slept through Head Scribe Taggart's lecture. He means well. I'm not giving up. He wants evidence, but he'll never go looking for it. He's scared I'm right. He'll never listen unless I hold the proof right in front of his face. That's my question to the Elder. All these years, the Brotherhood has collected weapons technology. And for what? To keep it out of people's hands? That clearly hasn't worked. To defend ourselves? We can't compete with the NCR's numbers, or the Legion's. We're fighting a war for a lost cause. If we're gonna survive, we have to find a role in society, attract new members. I don't know. We need something that shows the Brotherhood will fail, or that it can do better a different way. The only thing that gets his attention is technology. Maybe Father Elijah had the right idea. Our Elder before McNamara, he had a nose for recovering lost technology. He'd send scribes out into the desert chasing whatever leads he found. There were a few he only trusted me with. I can think of at least one that'd prove my point, if it still exists. There's a comm terminal not too far from here I'd use to access messages from him. If we go there, I can pull up his research on it. I'm with you. Being around here isn't the same anymore.
So, you're the outsider that's been given leave to wander around freely. Desperate times call for desperate measures, I guess. Name's Hardin. I'm the head paladin of this chapter. I don't know what the Elder talked to you about, but I can tell you this chapter is in trouble. Are you willing to listen to what I have to say? As you may have already heard, this entire base is under a state of lockdown. Most of the chapter has been sealed in here for years, and those few who were outside when the lockdown was initiated are forbidden from returning. Morale has plummeted as time has gone by, and many of our current paladins haven't seen combat outside of training simulations, and all because of the Elder's explicit order that no one be allowed in or out. The only way things will change is if a new Elder is installed. Veronica's a special case. She handles the procurement of supplies. If we didn't let her and those like her back in, we'd all starve. If the Elder could manage it, he'd shut them out as well, and all in the name of security, which is why we need to replace him. Of course I have, many times in fact. The Elder has an open-door policy and will listen to advice on any subject save this one. He refuses to see that our isolation is slowly weakening us. And because he fails to see that, he must be replaced. I would. I'm the senior-most paladin in the chapter. and have more combat experience than any 2 others here put together. I'd gladly support another candidate, but no one has the courage to step forward and make the attempt. I would put this chapter back on the right path if I could just assume leadership. I don't know. I've gone through our records dozens of times looking for a precedent regarding the dismissal of an elder and come up with nothing. The people who are most likely to know how it could be done are also some of McNamara's strongest supporters, so they refuse to help me, which is why we're having this conversation. An outsider such as yourself would arouse less suspicion asking questions about such matters. The fact that the elder has some tasks for you means his faithful won't suspect you, and you have a line open to the man himself. In short, you're in a perfect position to help me. Will you at least think about it? If I become Elder, the lockdown, and when that happens, it will be good to have the Brotherhood as an ally. Good enough? That'll have to do. I'd recommend going to see Ramos first. As head of security, he's more familiar with our protocols than anyone else here. You could also try to find something relevant in our data store, though last I heard Scribe Ibsen is having a bit of a problem accessing it. And if McNamara should give you any tasks, I'd ask that you kept me abreast of them. Report anything you find to me, and we'll move from there. What is it, Outsider? Have you... Yes, I know the loss of the patrols has weighed heavily on his mind for some time. That was when I first began to seriously question his ability to lead us. It's strange that he would ask you to find mission discs on them, however. The missing Paladins were all on standard patrols, which don't need them. Only brothers sent on special assignments are given mission discs. If you should find any on the lost patrols, let me know.
What is this? Veronica brings an outsider into our home, then has a private audience with the Elder? The 2 of you may have the Elder fooled, but we know better. Veronica has always twisted the Founder's principles to her own ends. We will not stand idly by and allow her to corrupt our Elder's thinking.
Pardon?
Veronica.
Sorry about that. Just because I love them doesn't mean some of them aren't assholes.
Your presence here, you impressed Elder McNamara, obviously. He must believe that you'd be very useful. That's right. Nothing gets in or out of here without me knowing it. Under the lockdown, only all other personnel are forbidden to leave, and any personnel that were out there when the... Don't get me wrong, he's a good man. But Elder McNamara has done all right by us. If it weren't for him, none of us would have survived at Helios. I'll tell you what I told Hardin. There have been only a few cases of elders being dismissed from their posts in the Brotherhood's history. And those involve crimes that someone like Elder McNamara is just not capable of. You can look it up for yourself if you want. I'll grant you access to that portion of the history section of our data store. See Senior Scribe Ibsen about accessing it. I'm sure someone's told you all this before. Our elder at the time, Elijah, had... That place was hardly defensible, and we knew the NCR was moving. We never found out what he needed time for. We held out for a time, but we were grossly outnumbered. Elder Elijah was nowhere to be found. We lost a lot of men and women, but we broke through and made it here. Who was Elijah, more like? He was our elder before Mech. Our mission is to recover and preserve the technology of the past. When we found Helios 1, he was like a kid in a candy store. He even insisted we set up our base there, against the objection of nearly...
Hey, Ramos.
Hey yourself, kiddo.
How may I assist you?
But if I adjust the magnetic field, perhaps the resulting change in wavelength will... Excuse me. I'm merely thinking out loud.
NCR military transmissions say they're...
Look, this isn't a great time. Oh, what the hell. It's not like we're making any progress. I'm Ibsen. Yeah, I'm in charge of keeping this data system up and running, but accessing it is a little, touch and go at the moment. I could use some assistance, sure, but I highly doubt you have the technical background to help us deal with this virus. Yeah, some pre-war jackass with too much time on his hands apparently decided to inflict his misery on those around him. It's scrambling all the terminals here at the moment. Luckily, we only use this section for storing historical data. I suppose it couldn't hurt to get another pair of eyes on this. Maybe you'll be able to come up with something coming at it fresh. While the entire system is infected, the virus itself is spread across 3 terminals. The problem is that it keeps moving periodically. We'll have it nailed down in a terminal or 2, only to have it jump to another set of terminals before we locate the 3rd. You'll need to locate it on 3 different terminals in this area in 1 minute. Any longer and it'll jump, and you'll have to start all over. Locating the virus would probably be nearly impossible, but the pompous little bastard that wrote it made things a little easier for us. Normally, terminals infected by the virus just display gibberish, but we found that terminals the virus moved to had some real data passed to them. We were able to decrypt the data and discovered that it was just messages from the virus's writer taunting his victims. When you find terminals with those messages, lock them down and move on. Find 3 of them before the virus jumps, and we'll wipe the damn thing. Best of luck to you. I'll tell the others to take a break so they don't get in your way. To maximize your chances, wait for my signal before you begin.
Robots on the strip have been upgraded. Wish we had eyes on intel.
You look tired, Ibsen.
Yeah, the virus just jumped. Find which terminals it went to.
The report said... Mr. House's robots are now using tech we've never
10
heard of.
seconds!
We need to send a team up there soon.
Damn, it's jumped. I thought we might have had it that time.
Hey.
Did you want to try isolating the virus? All right, I'll monitor when it jumps.
You're being watched, so don't get any ideas.
The bunker takes a little getting used to, doesn't it?
Long time no see.
The virus just jumped. Find which terminals it went to. Damn, it's jumped. I thought we might have had it that... Did you want to try isolating... The virus just jumped. Find which terminals it went to. You're being watched, so don't get any ideas. Yes. Ten seconds. Damn. Damn, it's jumped. I thought we might have had it that time. Did you want to try isolating the virus? All right. The virus just jumped. Find which terminals it went to. Seconds. That's it. We got it. The virus has been purged. You actually did it. If you don't mind my saying so, I didn't think you had a chance in hell of pulling it off. But I'm glad to be wrong for once. Thank you, my friend. Please feel free to access the data store at your leisure. I'm only allowed to give you access to non-classified topics, but it's better than nothing, right? I can understand how the man might be frustrated by the current situation. I myself often wish we could end this interminable stasis.
Evening. Oh, hey there. That's an old principle that's been around since the Brotherhood was founded. It basically means that you have to obey a superior officer. It's pretty much common sense, but it gets invoked a lot when people get pissy about following orders. If you're curious, I'll give you access to the data store entry on it. You'd probably be the first to read it in years, if not decades.
Reports say Mr. House's robots are now using tech we've never heard of. We need to send a team up there soon.
The bunker takes a little getting used to, doesn't it?
Hello? What is it, Outsider? I could hardly call myself Head Paladin if I didn't. It's one of the first things every initiate learns when they start training. I could be wrong, but I think that's a dead end. McNamara's always followed orders, and we've been incommunicado since fleeing Helios. Second part, what are you talking about? That is the standard procedure, yes. For example, McNamara gives orders to Head Scribe Taggart, who then relays further orders to the scribes. I wasn't aware that failing to do so was punishable, however. Interesting. If we can just find an instance where McNamara went around someone and gave orders to their subordinates, we'll have him.
It's getting dark.
What is it, Outsider? Have you discovered anything? Just as I thought. McNamara gave my men new orders without telling me. The nerve of that man. This little stunt is probably what got them killed in the first place. Our normal patrol routes are known to be relatively safe. This is exactly what I've been looking for. McNamara gave my men new orders without telling me, thereby breaking the chain that binds. With this, I can finally have him removed as Elder and end this ridiculous lockdown. No, Your role in this is done. Come back in a few days, and I should be firmly installed as Elder.
It's getting dark.
Welcome, my friend. A new day has dawned for this chapter, and moving forward we will no longer cower in the dark. And we have you to thank for it. You'll find that I can be generous to those who show loyalty. Here, take this key. If you ever find yourself in need of repair, head to our safe house to the northeast. Now, what can I do for you? Bye.
Let's see what we've got here. Okay, yeah, this is the one I was thinking of. The pulse gun. Although, maybe the rangefinder could work too. And it looks like the NCR was onto some miracle farming technology. Electromagnetic weapon from before the Great War. Experimental. It never saw mass production. But they were building it as a countermeasure to power armor, which they feared the Chinese were developing. Supposedly a prototype was being housed at Nellis. Imagine what it could do to the Brotherhood. We'd be on equal footing with any idiot with a gun. More or less. Supposedly, it's a vegetation enhancer. NCR has a science branch headquartered at McCarran Airport. Guess they found something. Guess somebody wasn't very good at keeping secrets either. We'd never pursue it because it's not a weapon, but self-sufficiency is fundamental to us. If it works, they'd see the value of an alternate course. It's a targeting device for some kind of doomsday weapon based at Helios 1. It was lost sometime after the war. We held Helios 1 for a time. Lost a lot of people defending it. Too many. All for this weapon they never got working. If it turns out to be a dud, it should show how flawed our goals have been. Okay, what better way to persuade them than to give them a taste of what they stand to gain, right? Maybe the best place to start is to see what we can find out directly from the NCR. Let's head to their OSI office at McCarran. I like the way you think.
Hey, welcome aboard.
That's it.
Come on!
Man, Doc can't really fix me up right the last time I got shot. He's the man to see if you need some fixing.
Boyd's in there with a prisoner right now. Boy, is she pissed.
You stick out like a sore thumb around here. You sure you're in the right place? Not big on reading name tags, huh? That's okay. My name is long and difficult to pronounce. Ready for it? It's Boyd. Lieutenant Boyd to my friends. Colonel Shu has me handling the policing duties for the base. I've told him he could make my job a whole lot easier if he would just let me shoot anyone who talks back to me. But you know how colonels can be. We captured an honest-to-God centurion of Caesar's Legion recently. Better believe it. Everybody in Caesar's Legion from Caesar on down will kill themselves before they can be captured. They're so twitchy they'd probably do it if you reached out to hug them. But here's this guy, who's an elite commander in their army, and he just gives himself up, even as his men are slitting their own throats around him. Well, I don't know about you, but to me that sounds like a man who's willing to cooperate. Except he hasn't. Only times he speaks up are to insult you. He's a real prick, by the way. And I'm supposed to get information out of this guy. Yes, and one time I thought I saw a tear when I told him his uniform was unflattering. Don't have anything like that. Sounds nice. Like the kind of thing I'd want to take home and use on my husband. But even if we did, I don't know that I'd be comfortable using it. If there's any risk of overdose, it's not worth it. Asshole's too valuable. I like the way you think. Problem is that the NCR frowns on using that sort of tactic. There's some restrictions still in place from President Tandy's administration. But here's my favorite thing about you. You're not in the NCR. Plus, for all this guy knows, you're completely insane. That's a winning combination. I think if you rough him up enough, and really put some fear into him, he'll sing like a choir boy. So let's do this. When you're ready, I'll go in and give you a little intro. Then I leave the room, and you make him regret the day he was born. We go back and forth a couple times until either he talks or he can't move his jaw anymore. Either way, we've had our entertainment for the day. Ah, tear my heart out, why don't you? Well, maybe you can find a way to play with his mind, get him out of his comfort zone. People lose their heads and say things they regret, especially if they underestimate you. Plenty of ways to skin a cat, as they say. Hey, what if we skinned him? Bet he wouldn't be so smug then. That's the spirit. Long time no see, Sealus.
Lieutenant. I was just thinking about it.
That's so.
I was just thinking about that pretty neck of yours.
How sweet.
I was thinking about how it would look with a Legion slave collar on it.
I'll pass.
Do you know what I love about our slave collars, Lieutenant?
If you love them, maybe you should try one on.
I love how tightly they fit. I train my men to make sure the slave's flesh bulges a bit around the top and bottom. Know why?
It's all the rage in fashion circles?
Not quite. If you fit it just right, their body never gets used to the feeling of wearing it. It cuts in just enough when they swallow or turn their head to remind them who they belong to. And it's that constant reminder that keeps them docile.
In that case, maybe you'd better save the collar you were gonna give me.
Oh? For whom?
For a friend of mine you're about to meet. My friend isn't very docile.
And who is this friend of yours?
You know all the rules the NCR instituted to protect enemy prisoners of war?
Of course.
My friend doesn't. Oh, and Sealus? If you resist at all, I'll personally blow your brains out. Come on in. He's all yours. I'll be back in a bit to see how you're getting along. And I need you to surrender your weapons before you go in. You can pick them up from the locker on your way out.
What an ugly little worm you are. What pile of excrement did the lieutenant pluck you from, worm? You must have some reason to be in your line of work. Tell me, what did the Legion do to you? Did we enslave your children? Slaughter your family before your eyes to teach you a lesson? Whatever it was, I... Foot soldiers of the Legion are trained not to have to think for themselves, to have conflict removed from their minds. They kill themselves to evade capture because they are not trusted to make such a decision rationally in the heat of battle. But I'm no foot soldier. I knew I could escape captivity on my own without revealing the tiniest iota of information to my captors. I'll show you gutless, you sniveling bastard. I'll spill your guts all over this room.
Is something the matter, Silus? You look upset. Here, maybe you'd better step out for a moment. You've upset him.
Get away from me. Your friend's a miserable fucking degenerate.
I don't know. I thought he seemed like a nice guy.
If we were on the other side of the river, I'd have him torn apart by dogs.
That's a long walk, Silus. I don't think it's gonna happen. You'd better just talk.
Your tactics are a joke.
If you don't like dealing with me, I can bring my friend back in.
Both of you can rot.
Have it your way. Come on back in. I think he misses you.
We don't have anything to discuss, worm. Coward. I've faced odds that would make your NCR soldiers wet themselves. I've led charges against men with guns, carrying only my knife. But suicide is a weak death on a battlefield. It says to your enemy that you fear capture. It says if you're caught, you can be broken. You think I'm going to slit my throat for some megalomaniacal, self-appointed dictator? I didn't work my way up to have it all be taken from me out of some irrational paranoia. Caesar's losing it. I believe that. He's been shutting himself in his tent. Privately, he complains of headaches. Whatever it is, it's affecting his ability to lead. Time was essential for my mission, but we waited 3 days for him to dispatch us. Another of his headaches. Does that sound like a man in command? He has an operative planted in this very base, but does he use his agent to rescue me? No. He's content to have the agent spend his nights radioing troop positions back to our base camp. He knows I'm here, and he's left me to rot. I don't know. I know he sends intelligence by radio in the middle of the night. Sometimes that intelligence would find its way to my cantery. I hope the Legion burns your wretched body at the stake when they conquer this place. Nothing I could tell you would do anything to stop that. Get away from me.
You did well. I don't know how you did it without putting a scratch on him, and I'm a little disappointed personally, but it saved the NCR some face. And it could save us more than that when all is said and done. I'm gonna talk to some people when we're through here. This is about double the standard fee we'd give a consultant, but from what I saw, you're more of an artist. Yep, see you around.
Make yourself at home here. It's cozy for an airport.
Check it. I really hope General Oliver has a good plan if the Legion comes back.
Something I can do for you? I'm usually good with faces, but I don't think I've seen you here before. There are a lot of things I can't spare troops for right now. If you can help us, we can definitely pay you for your work. You don't cook by any chance, do you? Farber's doing his best, but it's hard to manage an army with half my staff in line for the latrine. Honestly, we're fighting a lot of fires right now. The Fiends keep pressing their position from Vault 3. We've got the Legion breathing down our necks across the river. We actually took an officer alive last week, but so far he hasn't spoken a word. Yeah, on top of everything else, I can't send a patrol on a bathroom break without it being ambushed by someone who heard they were coming. So somebody's getting the word out. Well, why not? I'd like to have absolute trust in my men, but that's just not practical right now. Go ahead and look into it. We don't have much to go on right now. Lately, every raiding party in New Vegas seems to have a map of our troop movements. It derails everything. Supplies, reinforcements, and it'll only get worse the longer we let it go on. Captain Curtis is heading up the investigation right now. As in Chem Fiends. Biggest gang of raiders I've ever seen. Nothing like addiction to swell your numbers. Psychotic and completely unpredictable. They set up shop in Vault 3 to the west. Every day they attack our positions and my men repel them. But every day there's more of them and less of us. I sent one of my rangers after their leader to try and destabilize them. He didn't return. Hell of a thing, losing a ranger. You come to depend on them, and they come through for you so often, you forget it can happen. That vault is a hornet's nest. If you have second thoughts, no one would think less of you for it. But if you can get him home, it'd mean a lot. Watch for civilians, too. The Fiends have been kidnapping locals. They just walk right into people's homes in the middle of the day and take them. But the man you're looking for is Bryce Anders. Anders was trying to find the leader, Motor Runner. You hear something like a chainsaw? You've found Motor Runner. Put a bullet in his head, and you'll have some new friends around here. It's our main base. We took it because it lets us keep an eye on the Strip. From here, we handle most of the logistics for our operations in Nevada. Usually, General Oliver runs the show here. But he's on his way to the dam now, so I've taken on a lot of his duties here. Unfortunately, no. In fact, the word from the ranger stations has been especially concerning lately. It sounds like they've run into overwhelming resistance, and supplies just aren't reaching them. It's been so bad, I asked Sergeant Reyes at Camp Forlorn Hope to look into it, and see how it is that things could be so fouled up there. Bye. Something I can do for you?
Hello? A little busy at the moment, but I can talk. This? The OSI lab. We don't get many visitors. Nobody ever said science would smell clean and fresh. I know I don't sound the part. Get raised by Brahmin ranchers and you never lose the twang. Drives Hildern crazy. But I know every inch of the power grid from Hoover Dam to Shady Sands. That's what we do here. Try to optimize the power output from the dam. Some of the others are working on an agricultural project, but truth be told, they aren't making much progress. Not yet, anyway. You mean give you work? No, that'd be up to the administrator, Hildern. He's back there in his office. Between you and me, I don't think he ever leaves. I can't say. Nice to meet you.
A pleasure to meet you. I'm Dr. Thomas Hildern, Director of Operations, OSI East. I presume you're here about Vault 22? No, they wouldn't have briefed you, would they? Probably better that our junior fellows stay within the bounds of their pay grade anyway. Vault 22. Where to begin?
Imagine, if you will, the wasteland in bloom. Vast fields of corn that grow from seeds and produce their bounty in the space of a month. Orchards of trees, their branches weighed halfway to the ground, hung with fat, ripe oranges, a harvest that could feed a city or a nation. And all this, requiring no more than a few drops of precious water, and the efforts of only a handful of human farmers. Impossible? Fair enough. My point is this. I believe that the inhabitants of Vault 22 unlocked the secrets of vegetative growth. Plants are spilling from their gate. No one tends them. No one waters them. Yet they multiply and spread in all directions. Find the reason for this miraculous growth, and I promise you the OSI will see that you are generously compensated. Good. No need to check in with the NCR authorities. I can authorize your payment from OSI accounts. Vaults typically contain a server room on a lower level, where they would have backed up their research data. A computer room, you understand? Download all the information on the central server to your Pip-Boy, and you'll be certain to bring me any notes or samples that you find, won't you? I thought it was a fairly straightforward assignment. It's a simple question of retrieving the data, which shouldn't prove overly challenging. Downloading the data will be handled by your Pip-Boy. You might think of yourself as a mere means of conveyance. To be frank, I have no idea. I leave the fighting to Colonel Shu, and I expect him to leave the science to me. Too many people have opinions on things they know nothing about. The Office of Science and Industry. Suffice to say, we are the leading edge of the NCR. The dam, for instance. OSI routes its energy supply to our cities in the west. Yes, goodbye.
Did Dr. Hildern... This really isn't any of my business, but... Did he give you a job? I shouldn't say anything. I know that. But you're not the first person Hildern sent out to the vault. There were a lot of mercs, one after another. None of them came back. Then about a week ago, there was a scientist, Keeley. She's unusual. Not the sort of person you'd expect, but she's an absolute genius, and he didn't mention her? Not even her name? Or any of the other mercs? But now he's hired you, which means one of two things. Either he heard back from Keeley, and she failed, or he's given up on her. Listen, I make a fair wage, but I'm not rich, not by any means. Maybe my kind of money wouldn't appeal to your average merc, but I'm willing to pay you if you'll find Keeley and make sure she's safe. Isn't right leaving her out there. No idea if she's alive or dead. I had a good feeling about you, moment you walked in. Of course. Keeley's brilliant, an absolute genius. When you've lived as long as she has, you get defensive around new people. Who wants to make a friend when you know you'll outlive them? I couldn't get her to say, but she talked about the war. The Great War, when the bombs fell, like she'd been there. So, I'm guessing pretty old. 200 years? Maybe more. Like a Brahmin and a Deathclaw. Keeley hates Hildern. And Hildern hates Keeley because... well, because every time they meet, she makes him look like an ass. Right. Stay safe. Hey.
Something I can do for you?
Nice to meet you. I'm Curtis. Smart man. I could use somebody who can operate under the radar around here. Whoever our mole is, he's been slippery. Whenever one of the MPs gets too close, he changes his habits. Our last lead went cold weeks ago. You want my advice? Start by talking to people with a lot of eyes in the field. People like Lieutenant Boyd, or Sergeant Contreras, maybe. Careful with Contreras, though. He's not above suspicion himself. Keep me apprised of any leads you get. This guy's gotten a lot of my men killed. Officially, I'm in charge of Bravo Company. But since General Oliver has Bravo and most of our forces here garrisoned, I'm free to do other things. So I work with Colonel Shu on logistics, patrols, supply lines, reinforcements, that sort of thing. Lately, it's been less about that, and more about figuring out how that information is getting leaked to raiders. It's a big base with a lot of unhappy soldiers.
That tower on the strip, the one you can see for miles, I hear it ain't sealed up no more.
Glad you're with us. When I find you, I'm...
Don't kill me. I didn't mean it. Don't kill me.
Got my eyes peeled. Hey!
More tough security trials? Shit, we really gotta stay the fuck out of the strip.
You thought you could hide from me? You thought you could hide from me?
Hey! For the Brotherhood!
What the fuck are you doing here? You got some kind of fucking death wish, asshole? Final warning, asshole. Get the fuck out of here, or we are gonna waste your ass. If you're fucking carrying, just fucking say so. Yeah, deliver to the boss. Business as usual. Motor runners down in the maintenance wing. Straight through the door behind me, down the hall, down the stairs to the right. We have a con coming through to see the boss. Don't shoot at him. People all scared of those robots on the strip since they changed. Like, who needs the strip anyway?
Primm is gonna be much tougher to push around with that new sheriff down there.
So long as the cons keep making it, I keep getting high.
People all scared of those robots on the strip since they changed. Like, who needs the strip anyway? Hey.
So long as the cons keep making it, I keep getting high. Scared of those robots on the strip since they changed. Like, who needs the strip anyway?
So long as the cons keep making it, I keep getting high. People all scared of those robots on the strip since they changed. Like, who needs a strip anyway?
Primm is gonna be much tougher to push around with that new sheriff down there.
So, people all scared of those robots on the strip since they changed. Like, who needs the strip anyway?
So long as the cons keep... I keep getting high. Some bad shit.
People all scared of those robots on the strip since they changed. Like, who needs the strip?
Primm is gonna be much tougher to push around with that new sheriff down there. God damn it.
I wasn't expecting a resupply so soon. So you have anything from Red Rock Canyon to sell me? I'm paying 20 caps each for Jet, Psycho, or Buff Out.
Oh.
Deal is still...
Okay.
Deal is still...
Oh.
Deal...
Oh.
Deal... I guess it isn't a secret. Yeah, the residents of the vault are all dead. We killed them. Funny thing is, they just let us in. We didn't have to force the doors or anything. We needed someplace to put down roots. I was having trouble keeping my people out of Westside. I try to keep my people out of Westside. Apart from trying to stay on good terms with the cons who do business there. There's mean son of a bitch. That fucking mutant is more trouble to kill than to avoid. Having some place for my people to sleep reduces the chances of drifting into Westside. Bye.
Need a fix.
You're making me carry the heavy stuff, aren't you?
Prim is gonna be much tougher to push around with that new sheriff down there.
When I find you, I'm gonna...
People all scared of those robots on the strip since they changed. Like, who needs the strip anyway?
You ready to die?
You like the sight of your own blood?
now that the cons are all buddy-buddy with the NCR. Ready to die? Get the fuck out of my face! Damn!
You like the sight of your own blood?
You like the sight of your own blood?
why do we always hurt the ones we care about the most?
People all scared of those robots on the strip since they changed. Like, who needs the strip anyway? So long as the cons keep making it, I keep getting high.
You thought you could hide from me? Now. You thought you could hide from me?
They say those robots on the strip are run.
Watch out!
Watch out!
Watch out!
I didn't mean it. Don't kill me.
This is hopeless!
You decided to run blood?
can't hide from me forever.